9 dead, 150 missing as rescue operations continue after Niger State boat mishap. Suspected herdsmen killed 2 soldiers, 7 villagers in Benue attack. NAFDAC seizes millions of counterfeit cosmetics at Abuja supermarket. On the foreign scene, Iran closes airspace, cancels flights amid fears of Israeli retaliation. Good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Aisha Salihu. The news in detail. 9 corpses, 2 female and 7 men have been recovered, while no fewer than 150 Maulud celebrants are still missing when a boat with 300 people on board capsized at Bajibo in Mokwa local government area of Niger State. The victims, mostly women and children, took out from Mundi community to Bajibo for Maulud celebration when the boat capsized midway. Local sources who spoke on the incident said local drivers swung into rescue operations, saying that some people were not rescued alive but could not give the number. Reports say the mishap happened between Maghrib and Isha prayers. The Director General, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Alhaji Abdullahi Baba Ara, confirmed the mishap, adding that 9 dead bodies have so far been recovered. He said the mishap occurred on Tuesday night around 8 p.m. Ara said over 150 persons have been rescued alive, saying the search and rescue operation is still ongoing to locate more survivors. And to matters of security, the multinational Joint Task Force operating under Sector 3 has rescued 38 hostages and dismantled a critical terrorist logistics network during recent clearance operations. The Chief Military Information Officer at MNJTF headquarters in Jamena, Chad, Lieutenant Colonel Olani Oshoba, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday. He said during a heightened clearance mission in the Kukawa local government area of Benue State and the Baga axis, troops intercepted a group of Boko Haram terrorists who were transporting a large number of hostages. According to him, preliminary investigations suggest the hostages were being moved from a Boko Haram stronghold in Dogon Chiku, a site increasingly compromised by the relentless operational pressure from MNJTF forces. He said the troops are pursuing the fleeing terrorists who are suspected to be holding additional hostages. In a separate operation, MNJTF forces intercepted the Boko Haram logistics syndicate in the Gobio area. Osoba said the group, using 3 vehicles, was transporting various supplies to terrorist camps. Soldiers in Taraba State have arrested one Nafiu Yahya, a dismissed accountant of Mutumbiyu chiefdom, who confessed to have led a gang of kidnappers that abducted and killed family members of the chief of Mutumbiyu, Justice Sani Suleiman Duna in Gasol local government area last year. In February last year, Yahya led kidnappers abducted the wives and children of the traditional ruler in his private residence in Jalingo, the state capital, and killed them after some days. The suspect, who spoke in Hausa language after his arrest, confessed to the crime, which was motivated by his dismissal from the service of the chiefdom. 3 wives and 13 kidnapped children of the chief were killed, including 2 children and who were studying in Turkey. More on security matters. Suspected herdsmen on Tuesday killed 2 soldiers and 7 villagers, including the village head of Egoma village in the Agatu local government area of Benue State. A former lawmaker who represented the local government at the Benue State House of Assembly, Audu Sule, said the suspended herdsmen came into Egoma village at 3 p.m. and started killing people. According to Sule, military personnel who are stationed at his village in Ogule, a few meters away, responded to the distress call from Egoma village, but 2 of the soldiers were killed by the suspected herdsmen, along with Egoma village head and 6 others, bringing the casualty figures to 9. Sule noted that the attack was the fourth on Egoma and Ogule villages of Agato local government area in the last month, lamenting the security threats his people face daily. Benue State Police Command is yet to respond to the incident. Residents of Osun State on Tuesday staged a peaceful protest across major streets in Osogbo, the state capital, to demand solutions to the economic hardship in Nigeria. The protesters, who took advantage of Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary to voice their concerns, lamented that the hardship was worsening with each passing day and making life almost unbearable for Nigerians. Hamido Egbari filed in this report.
The protesters converged at the Freedom Park in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, in the morning, went round some major streets, and then moved to the Olaya intersection later in the day. Residents and passers-by along the streets expressed their support for the protesters and cheered them up. The protesters said some economic policies of the administration of President Bola Tinubu are not favorable to the masses and appealed to him to act promptly to end hardship.
So, if you know Nigeria before and you know Nigeria today, nobody will tell you that what we are having today is not the Nigerian type that Awolowo, Azikiwe, and all our former old political leaders fought for.
It is just good that we show our grievances so that the authorities will know that they are not really doing things as expected of them. The agitation is there, and we saw the acceptability of this protest in the general public. The market women, everybody rallied around to support the protest.
I appreciate that our people, the people that come out to protest with us, they align with us and listen to everything we do. Osun, Osogbo, here we are peaceful, and the organizer of this protest, Coalition of Concerned Citizens, will make it peaceful. And I pray Mr. President listen to us.
We are coming out to have a peaceful protest, and I can tell you that we have achieved that objective. It was peaceful. There was no looting. There was no burning of tire as the intelligence we gathered before now. There was no attack on any person or personalities. So to say we have achieved our objective, the major objective, to go out peacefully, which we have showed to the people of the world.
Security operatives, including men of the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Department of State Security Service stayed with the protesters all through to prevent any breakdown of law and order. Amit Oyegbade, reporting for Trust TV.
And to the south-south region of the country, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has declared that his administration will not surrender to barefaced blackmail while committing to consolidating on the gains made in ensuring the peace, advancing good governance, delivering more critical projects, and sustaining the increase in the internally generated revenue of the state. The governor also commended President Bola Tinubu for his bold, dynamic, and pragmatic economic reforms targeted at correcting the structural deformities of the past and ushering Nigeria into a new vista of sustainable economic growth and prosperity. Governor Fubara spoke during the 64th Nigerian Independence Day anniversary parade at the Government House Arcade in Port Harcourt. The governor said 1st October in 1960 was historic, with the first Prime Minister of Nigeria, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, raising Nigeria's much-cherished green-white-green flag to signify the independence and gained freedom from the British colonial rule.
However, Nigeria still total amidst diverse challenges, including widespread human insecurity. After 64 years of self-rule, indeed, the prevailing economic hardship has made life more difficult for most Nigerians.
Over 800,000 caregivers whose children have completed their routine immunizations in Katsina State have received cash assistance from a group known as New Incentives. The organization made the disbursement at the instance of Governor Dikko Radda at an occasion held at the premises of the State Primary Healthcare Agency on Monday as part of efforts to encourage caregivers to ensure that their children are immunized against killer diseases. Abdullah Yamadi completes the report.
Routine immunizations have been one of the major impediments in the task of ensuring quality health for children. In Nigeria's northern region, immunizations have over time suffered several setbacks due to unfounded beliefs and certain traditions. With the arrival of New Incentives, which is concerned about boosting routine immunizations, caregivers in Katsina who have been encouraged to immunize their children described the 5,000 naira support as a new dawn aimed at ensuring quality health for all children in the state.
The new incentive has assisted us greatly, and as such, I've been sensitizing more caregivers to accept immunization in order to benefit from the grants. Right now, about 800,000 of us have received the grant, and as you can see, the governor is disbursing it live, so it can be real. This initiative has assisted us by reimbursing the transport fares we paid to assist healthcare and immunization service for our children. We thank the initiative for proactive measures.
The All Babies program being implemented in some states in northern Nigeria is providing the 5,000 naira token to nursing mothers to encourage and prevent the persistent problems of rejecting immunizations by caregivers. The initiative has helped in reducing the child mortality rate in the implementing states and boosted the quality of life of both children and nursing mothers. Officials of the initiative said the program is being implemented with the support of the Katsina State government.
Yeah, the reason is because we want the governor first to know that we exist in the state. That is one, and then also we want also like you with the media also to know of this level grant, and also with this it will also it will make other people to know that we are giving this grant. And because the grant is for immunization.
Governor Dikko Radda, who launched the disbursement in Katsina, commended New Initiatives for finding a lasting solution to immunization rejection among nursing mothers and caregivers in northern Nigeria.
I'm proud to announce the disbursement of livelihood grants to children who have completed their routine immunization. This program will provide 5,000 each to over 800,000 women whose children have completed routine immunization. This initiative is a testament to our belief that health support and economic empowerment go hand in hand. By supporting those children and their families, we are not only promoting immunization, but also investing in the future of our state. Healthy children are the foundation for the prosperous society, and it is our responsibility to nurture them.
The governor, while making references to the 800,000 nursing mothers and caregivers who benefited from the 5,000 naira grant in Katsina, charged other organizations and partners to emulate the initiative, describing the successes recorded by the initiative as unprecedented.
To our health workers, community leaders, and development partners, your dedication and hard work do not go unnoticed. Let us continue to work together to create brighter, healthier future of our children and our state.
Abdullahi Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has seized counterfeit cosmetics worth 37 million naira in a sweeping crackdown across Abuja markets. Acting on intelligence, NAFDAC's enforcement team raided supermarkets and open markets, including Wuse and Garki, targeting unregistered products. In a statement, the agency pledged to investigate the sources of the illegal goods and take strict action against offenders. NAFDAC emphasized its commitment to safeguarding public health and ensuring all seized products are destroyed according to regulations.
They have different names. Look at them.
In the news update, coming to you live from Trust TV studios in the nation's capital. Still in the news. Borno resident takes bold action, bringing hope to thousands amid humanitarian crisis. We'll bring you details of the story and more after the break. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us. Let's have a second look at some of our top stories. We told you that 9 dead, 150 missing as rescue operations continue after Niger State boat mishap. You also heard suspected herdsmen kill 2 soldiers, 7 villagers in Benue attack. And to other stories. As part of a series celebrating unsung heroes, Media Trust spotlights Lawan Maigana, a Maiduguri-based resident who has joined several other Nigerians to raise support for victims of the flood disaster, most of whom are scattered around displaced people's camps across the city. Musa Luka tells us more.
Following the flood that displaced almost 500,000 people in Maiduguri, Borno State, young Nigerian Lawan Maigana embarked on humanitarian mission supporting thousands of flood victims in the state. Maigana, a resident of Maiduguri, started a crowdfunding that has assisted over 9,000 flood victims with food and non-food items.
Doing this because I feel they are humans like us, and what has happened to them can happen to us as well. So we are just putting them in our shoes, assuming it happened to us. How would we feel when we are helped? So that is what is motivating me to mobilize funds, and people have been donating. So we are using the money to buy food items and cook it for them. We buy mosquito nets, mosquito coil, we buy detergent, we buy brooms and distribute it to them so they will, wash their toilets so they could eat, they could drink, and they will protect themselves from, malaria, mosquito bites, and so on.
Okay. Maigana, a tailor and a graduate of mass communication from the University of Maiduguri, is currently pursuing his master's degree in the same department. He is one of this year's unsung heroes due to his selfless service to the victims of Maiduguri flooding. The head of mass communication department, University of Maiduguri, Dr. Abdulmutalib Abubakar, says Lawan has always been a humanitarian even before the flood crisis.
We are proud of him as a department. We are proud of him, and we are very determined as a department to produce more of Lawan Maigana, because we have so many of them that are out there doing their own thing rightly for the benefit of humanity and for the development of the country.
Similarly, some of the beneficiaries thanked Maigana for the selfless sacrifices he has been making.
I thank God Almighty for giving him the privilege to support us. May God repay him. Today, they brought us food. We are grateful to them.
These youths have been bringing us food. May God repay them in full. But we are calling on the government to also do something.
The transparency of Maigana's work has attracted donors and confidence as he published all donations received and how it is disbursed on his Facebook page. Musa Luka, Trust TV.
And to developments in business, importation of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, has dropped by 3.5 billion litres in the last year. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics released by the agency on Tuesday showed that total petrol imports reduced to 20.30 billion litres in 2023 from the 23.54 billion litres recorded in 2022. The figure represents a decrease of 13.77% year-on-year. NBS said the country imported 8.36 billion litres of premium motor spirit in first half of 2024, a significant decrease from the 11.94 billion litres imported in H1 2024, marking a 29.99% reduction. A breakdown for the monthly volume of fuel imports in 2023 showed that 2.9 billion was brought in January, reduced to 1.99 billion in February, increased to 2.29 billion in March, 1.91 billion in April, and 20.01 billion in May. Away from Nigeria, Iran has extended the closure of its airspace as it expects Israeli retaliation following its attack on the enemy country on Tuesday evening. A spokesman for the Aviation Authority said all flights have been cancelled until 5 a.m. on Thursday to maintain aviation security. Iran initially closed the airspace over Tehran, cancelling all flights up until Wednesday morning after it launched a barrage of missiles at Israel on Tuesday evening. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said the attack was a retaliation for the killings of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, and an Iranian general. 3 Israeli air bases and the headquarters of the Israeli Foreign Intelligence Service, Mossad, were the targets of the attack. And finally, in sports, the Libya national team have reconvened to begin preparation for the October 11, 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying tie against Nigeria at Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo. According to Libya Al Ahral channel, the Mediterranean Knights had their first training under the leadership of their new coach, Nasser Al-Hadri, and his assistants, Tunisian Akram Al-Hamami and Abubakar Harak, in Tripoli. The team is expected to arrive in Abuja on October 7 before heading for Uyo for the clash with the Super Eagles. Meanwhile, Nigeria's coach, Augustine Eguavon, is yet to name his squad for the double-header, with the corresponding fixture slated for October 15 at Martyrs of February Stadium in Benghazi. Nigeria made a bright start to the series with a heartwarming 3-0 win over Benin Republic on September 7 before battling Rwanda to a goalless draw in Kigali 3 days later, setting them atop Group D with 4 points. And on that note, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust TV at this hour. Remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again.